It's time for the Stone and Wood Post Show. What a day of competition. Power surfing lives on here at the Bells Bowl. Some of the best combination of turns maybe we've seen in the modern era here at Bells Beach. It was one of those days. Huge day at Winky Pop yesterday, back on the bowl today, and that was just unbelievable to watch it all go down, filled with upsets, drama. Vaughn Blakey enjoying the local crowd in that last heat of the day. Flick Palmatier, great call as well. Thanks for being with us. Vaughn, what was that feeling like being in the stadium in that last heat?
Yeah, it was as good as any sporting event. Like, it's a whole different thing. Yeah, maybe not as big, maybe not 90,000 people like when you go up to the G to watch the Cats play, but that was as just intense and revved up as I've seen the crowd. And you know when even the Brazilians are going, hey, this reminds me of home, that it's serious. Yeah. I saw a few of the crew going, this is wild. And it's a special day in Australia, so they had plenty of reason to get in behind their boy and show some fighting spirit.
Yeah, remembering all those that have fallen in the past. Lest we forget, we had that beautiful celebration of life this morning with the Anzac Day, and a lot of just local Australians got to really get thrilled by power surfing on the bowl. Flick, and just returning to the Bells, you know, after a day at Winky Pop, gosh, it was just so rewarding as a surf fan.
Today is one of those days that you dream about as a kid. You know, you're drawing these sketches in your notebook of those perfect corduroy lines wrapping into a bay, those beautiful offshore winds, and then to couple it up, we had some amazing power surfing. In my book, some of the best we've ever seen.
Let's dive right into the Boost Mobile heat of the day, and it happened very quickly. We saw world number one, Italo Ferreira, fired up member, Bells champ of the past, taking on Xavier Huxtable.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, Italo is an inferno. He is so on fire, and if you're going to put out that inferno, you've got to do it throwing buckets. And that's exactly what Xavier did, even throwing it right in the world number one's face on that second turn. But what a buzz. And as we were just discussing, this entire headland, this entire Giraffe amphitheatre was just frothing for the local lad.
Every turn was just an explosion of excitement for Xavier. Italo tried to find his rhythm and flow and just wasn't able to get in the mix today.
Yeah, it felt like to me that his pace was just a little bit unmatched with the wave. He had some nice moments, but Vaughn, you touched on the crowd, and Griff touched on it as well when he came in from his heat after this, and he said that he could feel the emotion, you know, it was kind of pouring out of him out there because it reminded him of his home crowd and, you know, when he'd competed at Lowe's, and just how special that is to have a headland full of your friends just cheering you on like that. So yeah, day filled with a lot of emotion, a lot of big feelings.
That was Tully Wiley on the celebration. Remember, he was in the main event last year. I think he even enjoyed it this year even more, just passing all the love and attention to one of his best friends, Xavier Huxtable, who has been training with purpose. Hands Italo his worst result this season, beat world number one. Last time Italo lost this early was actually to a wild card last year in El Salvador named Brian Perez.
Yeah, well, Italo, him leaving this event really created a bit of a vacuum, and that just got completely filled by the surfers who came after, because all those other challenges, especially trying to pull back that yellow jersey, which he's just been running away with, they all stepped up. Everyone sensed an opportunity, and the surfing we saw after this heat went through the roof.
Well, now we've got a big name out of the contest. World number one gone. That opens up the door wide for Ethan Ewing to possibly take the yellow jersey. He can do it if he wins his second bell in this event.
And look, the performance today, you've got to be thinking he's the informed surfer. It does not get better than him. The numbers speak for themselves. I look down to 7 and 9, Kanoa and Jack. They've also advanced through quarters. They're inching up as well. You know, Jack's kind of uncharacteristic to find himself at number 9 at this place coming into the Aussie treble. So, good signs.
What a day it was for Ethan Ewing. What a day it was for power surfing. And I loved how you were talking to Ethan Ewing on the glass. You put it into great words, Vaughn. The celebration of the rail work of this man.
Well, this is one of the best performances in the Bells Bowl ever, hands down, in the history of surfing. Like, I cannot think of a bigger demo job done with such sublime touch. Like, there's so much aggression in what he's doing, but everything is exactly where it needed to be, and I just thought that he took it to another level. And Connor O'Leary, like, I was speaking to a few of the local Victorians, they were like, you cannot surf a wave better on the bowl than Connor did in this heat, but that's what he was up against, an absolute freight train in Ethan Ewing.
Oh, I agree with you, Vaughn. I personally think I was like, how is this not a 10? I just had to ask the question. I couldn't believe it.
He mic drops this way.
I know. I had nothing left. Like, no more emotions. No, it really was.
Look, he fully just cans the whole inside wiggle going, I am not going to disgrace this wave with anything onto that shorey section. I am done. And could have been a 10 easily.
There are moments at events in history that you'll always reflect on. We saw one of those today, you know, with that performance from Ethan Ewing, 9.43 and a 9.33, baptized by the bull, christened by the cliffs. Power surfing finds its church right here at Bells Beach, and Ethan was the leader of it, knocking out O'Leary. Has a chance to get the yellow jersey if he goes on to win the event. We had that last heat come to a close. That was Griffin Colapinto getting past Xavier Huxtable. He's in the rain with Rosie right now.
Oh, 2 solid heat wins for Griffin. Griffin moving 10 spots up the rankings to number 16 on the live leaderboard. Good day at the office for you.
Yeah, good day for sure. That was a crazy heat, just super slow. I only caught 2 waves. Xavier only caught like 1 wave, and yeah, it felt good to be on the other side of that.
And what about the noise coming from the local contingent, obviously supporting Xavier? How do you channel that energy in your favor?
It's just kind of just thinking about how cool it is, and that I was in that same position at lowers during the finals, and just being psyched for him, and you know, not letting it be like a, oh, everyone's against me kind of thing, just like, oh, they have like so much love for their friend. So yeah, it was really cool, and I know it was a bummer we couldn't ride more waves, but I don't know, I've had a lot of, I mean, this year's been a tricky one. I haven't really, it's my first finals day, so it's been an emotional roller coaster, and yeah, it just feels good to be on the other side.
And you're into the quarters, like you said, for the first time. Do you change anything? Your surfing was looking so smooth and powerful today.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I've been surfing really good all year. It's just these heats I've been having that the other guy just goes huge or gets the score at the last second. It's just like these little things have been going against me, and it's been really hard to like trust that everything I'm doing is going to pay off at some point. But it feels so good to like get that feeling right now.
We're so stoked to see you in the quarterfinals. Griff, go rest up, and we'll see you on another big finals day here at Bells Beach. Send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Rosie. What a great chat with Griffin Colapinto. He's been so open with sharing his journey with us. He'd be allowed to hide and, you know, not talk to any of us during a season like this. And he's been like, yeah, you know, I'm looking at everything. I'm more prepared to step back up after what's been a tough season, and he's done it for us. So now we could back him into this finals day as he's in quarter 3, checking out finals day bracket. Jordy Smith versus Morgan Cibilic, Ethan Ewing at the top with Kanoa Igarashi. Still have a few more heats to wrap up in the round of 16, Vaughn.
Yeah, we do have a few more heats, but the quarters are so mouthwatering. Ethan Ewing and Kanoa having a 2-0 against Ethan head-to-head, so he's got a little bit of an edge there, I guess, in terms of the competition. But yeah, Jordy and Morgs, that's going to be a great battle of rail surfing, and Griffin's punched his ticket, so good stuff there.
I mean, let's get right to it. Can anybody stop Ethan Ewing?
This is one of those hard things, right? And sometimes, I don't want to put it out there even into the universe, but sometimes the most informed surfer doesn't win. And that is heartbreaking. And I don't just put it out there. I really did. I said it. But it happens. And I really hope that I'm wrong, and I hope he proves me wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
So I'm kind of taken from that. He's the guy that's going to ring the bell. You know, is there any surfer in your mind, Vaughn, that can stop him?
Well, I think it will be a tactical thing. We had lots of slow heats today, and it wasn't just about, you know, who's doing the best surfing on the best wave. There were times where you had to sneak inside and get an insider, and maybe Kanoa will be the guy who, if the opportunity isn't there in a heat, will rush that and put that into his strategy. So there's the opportunity, but let's just say it's absolutely cooking, and every heat from now till the final is just full of opportunity and perfect big walls. Well, Ethan is really almost the unbackable favourite.
I'm closing my eyes and I'm imagining the waves coming through. Let's get more backup on that. Surfline forecast giving us the dream of what we can have for finals day or just for the next couple of days. We've got a few days left in the waiting period, Flick.
Yeah, we do. And we're going to have that southwest swell sort of holding through to Saturday and Sunday, sort of similar size, really. I think the thing that's going to be, you know, the question is that wind, right? And from what I could take when I was looking at Surfline is that potentially tomorrow morning might be a little bit less, you know, strong, a little bit lighter winds, and then in those arvos, that entre is going to kick up a little bit. But the good news is we are going to have swell, and you can see it all moving through those big purple, red blobs moving up into Victoria there.
As we look into Saturday, looks like 6 to 8 foot on the face, side on shore in the morning, Vaughn.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to worry any of the competitors. This has been a classic Rip Curl Pro. It's like had a little bit of everything. You know, we've had the messy onshore Bells Bowl on the first day. We did a little bit of time down at Winky. We came back for the day that we all dream of, and I think from now on it's just like, give me whatever you can, I'm ready to take it apart. Quarterfinals are like that.
I like it. Wake up and check it tomorrow. Looks great on paper. Thanks, Surfline. Let's focus on the Hydralyte seats to watch. Some big ones to look forward to. Filipe Toledo, a Bells champ, 2-time world champ, looking for his first win of the season. Jack Robinson has a lot of event wins. He wants to get a bell. He also looking for his first win of 2025.
Well, I mean, for Jack right now, and I've said it before when we're looking at those rankings, I mean, uncharacteristic for him to find himself at 9th right now coming into Australia. Usually he's up in that top 5 conversation. Filipe, though, they're both great competitors, but from what I saw from Filipe today, it looked like he clicked into that sort of world title form. He just looked hungry, he looked alive, and he looked for sure-footed, but he's coming up against one of the biggest gurus, wizard master of all time. So it's going to be a cracker of a heat.
Hydralyte heat to watch. You're going to see a familiar name that's been picked as the Hydralyte heat to watch a couple of times in this event. Now, Isabella Nichols is already getting excited about the rematch from the Punta Roca final with Gabby Bryant.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge heat, and you know, whenever someone inhabits that yellow jersey for the first time, something changes. It's almost like you go from Bruce Banner to the Incredible Hulk. You find a new level in your surfing that you didn't even know you had. And I think Gabriella, you know, she's already such a standout this year. Her surfing is just so powerful. It's so on, and now she's got the yellow. You know, I don't know if she's paddling out with it. Do you get it at the next event? Or
she'll get to the next event.
Yeah, but I mean, she knows it's hers, so she's going to paddle out there with that world #1 attitude at least, and that's going to be a real challenge for Isabella.
She'll start painting her nails yellow. That's what Chris used to do.
Really?
Just to feel that magic going, yeah, it's in her corner.
Fine.
But it's also the first time we'll see her with that role of leading the tour, and wow, she certainly deserves it. Definitely the most powerful turns we've seen on tour.
I think she's been most powerful for a couple of years, but something has clicked this year where everything is flowing. Her heat strategy, the way she's picked up right where she's left off. The wave selection, just the way she's buttoning up heat. She's not letting anything to chance. I don't know, just for me, it feels deadly.
Time for the BioGland Daily Dose, coming in at number 5. Let's just celebrate beautiful Bells Bowl coming to life today, setting up a beautiful canvas for athletes like Filipe Toledo to dig in, Vaughn.
Totally agree with Flick. This was a real return to form, and I guess the takeaway really is that it's just been finding his feet. But this was the first way we've seen surfed in anger. That had so much intent, and his performance was undeniable.
And wild that he feels like an underdog after his year off. And then how good was Jack Robbo today?
Jack was just in sync, and it didn't matter what the ocean threw at him, lumps, bumps, anything. He just kind of handled, and he always does. It's kind of like he's just reacting. He's not really thinking about it. It's just reacting, and it's just his second nature to him. His board's an extension of himself, and he's looking in great form.
He's an energy guy, and he's feeling it. One guy that's feeling it as a wild card, Morgan Cibilic, is making no mistakes.
This time last year, I thought he was so unlucky not to go deeper into the event, and this time he just looks like, I don't know, it looks like his confidence is in an even higher place. He was sort of just in the rebuild zone, and now he looks fully back. This is such a great opportunity for Morgs to really state his claim for a place back on the World Championship Tour.
His board looks like magic at Winky Pop at Bells Bowl as he took out a rival of his, Leo Fioravanti, who is so dangerous. Number 3 on the list, Poetry from Jake Marshall.
Oh, this was the first of the 9s that we saw get dropped in this contest, and it was beautiful. I said it when we were calling it, but it's shades of Joel, just the way that he really extends that rail carve, and judges absolutely ate it up. And I think from that moment onwards, everyone was like, right, okay, it's those big power gouges that Jake's putting together that's going to get those scores. And to do, I mean, not just 1, but 2 9s. I mean, it's basically the best wave. I think he said best heat of his life as he's come in. He's just trying to process all of that. And what that really means and trying to keep a lid on it because he's continuing on in the draw. You don't want to celebrate too early. The job's not done.
That's right. We're number 2 on the BioGland Daily Dose. Wildcard taking out world number 1 today.
This is something they're going to be celebrating in Torquay all over the place. A famous heat win, and you know, Italo, we all know just the role he's been on, how strong he's been this year. The conditions really did play to Xavier. It was a little bit full this morning, and Italo just couldn't find the firepower. Yeah, it was a little bit wonky, but Xavier just went out there and fully attacked. Big Larrys, right in the steep part of the wave. He was definitely on the best waves in this heat as well. And yeah, the party will just be getting started because he did get knocked this afternoon, unfortunately, but everyone will be celebrating.
Crushes like a footy player, just making a tackle. And look at that celebration. Those are the moments in sport you love. Knocking out world number 1, that was radical. Open up the door for this man to maybe take the yellow jersey if he goes on to win as he wins the Stone and Wood Post Show. Topping the list on the BioGland Daily Dose. Just unbelievable form on the bull today.
I can't say it any better, but Ethan has a romance going with the Bells Bowl, and it is beautiful to watch. It's undeniable. It's the best surfing I've ever seen out here. You know, you mentioned Joe in this era. It's just progressive, the way the tight angles he's got on his carves, just the progression he has on his carving maneuvers too. Yes, it's traditional surfing, but he's adding his own flair to it. And it's even better than what we saw at Lowers when he was in that world title campaign.
Yeah, and Connor could do nothing but shake his head. I mean, he put in one of the great performances as well. One wave in particular called out as one of the great backside rides here in the Bells Bowl ever. And that was in that heat. But when someone is in a mood like Ethan Ewing, I mean, it's over. And I really thought for 1 second we were going to see 10s because I thought the wave where he kicked out early, big mic drop, no wiggle through to the inside. That was one of the all-time great rides out here. Lock it in your diary. I was there. I saw it. It was special.
Well, Vaughn, we're losing it, and for good reason. And when you're talking to him, what's your take on Ethan's demeanor? Is he bottling up that energy? We know he's calm and he says he's shy, but how does he hold it all in, you know, throughout a heat like that?
Yeah, I think that's actually a great question because there's so much mystery around Ethan and his energy and how he sort of holds onto it and where he lets go of it. But I did the post-heat interview with him down there. I was frothing. I thought my head was going to explode at one point. And I could tell that he really enjoyed that. He said that he's seldom had heats like that in his life as well, like Jake Marshall did. And, you know, when he's smiling and when he's feeling in the zone, he said his rhythm was just clicking. His board felt incredible. I feel like he allowed himself to enjoy that moment and really enjoy it, like not hold it in or bottle it up. And I think that really is a good sign for things to come.
And it's a good point, too, with mentioning Jake Marshall. I mean, that was the heat of a lifetime for himself. Congrats, Jake. That was insane. His best heat before that was a 15.5 total at Sunset a year ago. He blew that out of the water. 18.33, couple of 9s. It's just kind of a day where surfing wins. You know, when you go to a CT venue, you're dreaming of it to look like what we had today. Total score, Flick.
Oh, totally. I think coming into this event window, the forecast was looking, oh, okay, this is going to be a bit hard here. What days are we going to pick? Are we going to get, you know, that classic bowl? And today we did. It kind of actually surprised me. I'm blown away, and I guess that's the beauty of Mother Nature. You just sort of rock up and things can get better and things can surprise you. And anyway, surprised me today. Corduroy lines to the horizon. It was beautiful.
Loved it. Flick, Vaughn, thanks so much for your company. Thanks for everybody watching around the world on behalf of WSL. Thanks for being with us. Join us first thing in the morning. Well, we'll let you sleep in a little bit. 9:45 call tomorrow for a potential 10 a.m. start.
Tide.
They're looking at that high tide.
There we go.
These guys know what they're doing. We'll see you then. Take care. We'll leave you with a surf movie to watch. These are all the great highlights of a great day at Bells Beach. See you then. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.